Warning, this show contains adult language. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life on your own terms. All right, this is episode 292, How to Have Purpose in Your Life. And what does this have to do with living a resilient life, sustainability, getting off the wheel, getting into your life, getting to do things that you want to do is having purpose. I think a lot of people are missing purpose in their life. A lot of their jobs, I heard Joe Rogan saying something that a lot of men, I would say people, live lives of quiet desperation. It's because there's no meaning. And I think a lot of us know this, and I'm not here to depress you guys. I'm here to pick you guys up today and give you guys some of what I think you guys can do to get purpose in your life. Because if you want to be successful at anything, when you have a purpose, it seems like that gives, everything comes with it. It's like calcium is king, as they say in the holistics. Everything rides in on calcium, magnesium, and all the other vitamins and minerals and things to be able to get through the walls of a human cell. I think the way for inspiration and to live a better life is to actually have a purpose. And that's what's going to pierce everything else. All the other stuff's going to ride in on it. So let's get started, guys. Here's a quote by a man by the name of Sadhguru. And what he says, in order to be successful in life, and I added, or business, come up with a purpose instead of a plan. What does that mean? Most of us look and let's start a business, let's plan our lives out. You know, and I'm not all against planning at all. I think that's wonderful. You need to have a plan. You need to have direction and know where you're going. But you also have to have a purpose to be able to follow that. When I look in my life as far as why I am successful, why I'm a thousandaire, not a millionaire, by the way, but I'm happy. I get to spend time with my kids. I get to do the things that I want to do. I get to go out on adventures and things like that. Well, the jobs I do that I really don't like, I have a purpose. Those jobs have a purpose. I know that once I get done with them, that's what's going to afford me to take my family out on adventures and to be able to take time off, spend time with my children, and to live a better life. I also have lots of plans and things that I want to do. I want to help save the planet. That's, the beginning of this show is to build, make a better life, to improve quality of life for both people and the planet that we live on. Can we do both? Can I improve my personal life? Can I also improve the earth as I do it? And inventing things such as the biodegradable container gardening systems that I do, they're 100% biodegradable, guys. I've also incorporated where I don't really have to work so hard. I don't have to bend over. I don't have to kill any bugs. It's just I have barriers and things that I've invented to stop them, and it's an ongoing project, but it makes me feel good inside. Now, I'm hoping that business, the biodegradable container gardening, is what's going to feed me for the rest of my life and also bring me money. But it also comes with a purpose. I have purpose in my life where I feel very strongly about what I do. So I gladly take up all my free time and work on things, the website and, going out there to spin farming on property I don't own, spending all the gas, the time when I could just be working for money, making more on, say, my construction business that I own. But I feel that purpose that this is something of a higher quality and I work for it. And that's what I look at. I think a lot of people might want to change their lives. They want to, turn things around. And the plan is going to get you there, but the purpose is what's going to keep you going. The connection of growing your own food, while we're on that topic, is when I look at the purpose in life, I look at a lot of the meals that we're eating, the food that we're exposed to. Forgive me for the background noise, by the way. That's my pickup truck. I'm on my commute on my way home from work. But the food that we're exposed to seems like it doesn't have any life in it. It's kind of dead. And what happens is a lot of us work for money to go and pay for the food, this dead food, pesticide ridden and everything else, and it doesn't even really taste that good. So there's no really purpose for that food. There's a saying in the holistics, your food should be your medicine should be your food. It's a great philosophy to incorporate into everything into your life. Whatever you're doing should be medicine to your life. It should be improving your life. But we don't really have a purpose when we go to work doing things that we hate, that we very dislike, without any purpose, and then eating food without any purpose. TV dinners and things like that.
And I wanted to bring this up of how you feel the connection of growing your own food or even cooking. When you cook your own food and make it from scratch, there's a good feeling. When everybody tastes it, they're like, oh my God, I've never tasted anything like this before. Yeah, because it's home-cooked meals. We all know that home-cooked tastes a hell of a lot better than any prepackaged stuff. But there's a connection. And I think when you grow your own food, it gives you a purpose as well, that it's very heartwarming that when you're able to give stuff away to people, it's better than any money that you can ever produce. It's actually something that you work very hard. It has a purpose in it. So, and when you eat that food, and when you have that relationship with your plants, the animals and the bugs and the microbiology and the soils and everything, getting out in the sunshine, noticing when it rains and when fall comes and winter comes, you have to change with it. Your habits change. And therefore, you're a part of the whole system. And I think that's one thing that I look at is a lot of people are told that we are nasty creatures, and I kind of agree with them. We're fucking dirty animals. But we're also, we can flip that around to be very beautiful animals of this planet. We're not a cancer. We don't have to be. That's a choice. And I think the depression and this whole view of we are pollutants and ugly things on the planet just here to just destroy shit, it's a funny joke, but to me it's not really a reality. I think if people started taking more of a purpose, knowing that this is what's going to feed your children's children. This is the legacy that you're leaving behind. All the money and the fame and things you have could possibly leave, something behind for somebody, but that's going to run out. But when you've taught people, when you've educated and exposed your children, and say breeded plants and gardened and you created land, you created abundance. If you went and did things such as permaculture, where you did berms and swales and food forests and things like that, those things will go on for probably forever. So I can't think of a better legacy to leave behind, that mom or dad or whoever you are left the earth in great abundance for people they don't even fucking know, that they never got to meet. And the feeling you can have in your heart when your card is pulled and it's time to leave this planet, to say, wow, that was really an awesome thing. There was a purpose. True contribution to society. And I've got a couple things here. Part of me, while I drive, I'm going to have to pause every once in a while. I wrote down so many notes, and as you can't tell, maybe I'm pretty passionate about this one. A true contribution to society and to your community. I think that's what we just talked about, utilizing things such as permaculture and stuff like that. But I think for being yourself and being a person of your word and being kind and having empathy, I think that is what we are lacking a lot of in our society, in our community. A lot of people are just going out for the grab bag of get your own, you get yours and I'll get mine. And then maybe we have to fight for things or compete with each other. Whereas if we learn from closed loop systems such as permaculture and things like that, where everything has a symbiosis to it, where everything has a purpose, one thing gives to another, that gives to the other, and it's just this cycle of wonderfulness that never stops. Everybody has a purpose, the bugs, the plants, so that's a perfect philosophy to look inside of what we can do to have true meaning and contribution to our society and to our community by being that type of person there to help and asking nothing in return. I want to tell you guys, I've done a lot of that in my life. I haven't recently in the past year. I don't think that I can think of it at the top of my head. I've gone on a roofing job and met a lady who was really poor. She was a badass guy. She was a badass woman. And she wanted to do everything herself. And she says, I just can't figure it out, and I'll pay you. I have a credit card and stuff. And I told her, I says, Merry fucking Christmas. I told her, I said, turn on your phone right now and you're going to follow everything that I say, word for word. And you're going to watch this video and I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to fix this roof right and how you're going to do it yourself, and all for fucking free. Told her, started explaining everything, how she had to clean this and move that. And then I was done. I says, does that sound like that's something you can handle? And she says, yes, for sure. Thank you. I gave her a hug. We're standing on her roof, hugging in the middle of the neighborhood. Probably seemed funky to other people, but that's the kind of things that I'm talking about. And those are the kind of reverberations. This lady ended up giving me one of the best reviews I've ever had on Yelp, I think, and anywhere she could find. I inspired her. I've had people give me stuff, bring me food while I'm gone, bring me kombucha and stuff like that. And happened a lot when I was camping. this last year when I went on my mini retirement with my kids. We camped in the middle of the wilderness. I had Indians and all the good old boys, the rednecks and stuff from all the different parts of town, way up there in the hills, in the mountains. And these people would bring me things because of my kindness, my empathy to help them out. And that's what we need. That's a contribution, I think, that just keeps, it's like perpetual motion. It just keeps feeding itself. And people talk. And I think that when we throw a purpose like this, when we live with purpose and we live with direction in our lives, people could feel it. And it ends up changing their lives. And you never even had to say a word. All you had to do was help somebody. For instance, I think I've told you guys this story before. I helped my mechanic. It wasn't my mechanic, actually it was my neighbor. He's a mechanic, and I went and fixed his roofs. It only took me like 15 minutes. How much do I owe you? Nothing. This guy, I had something in my brakes, and he comes over with his friend, jacks up my truck, cleans out my brakes, wanted to redo my brakes for free. I told him, at least let me pay for the pads, and things started to happen. That warm-hearted feeling in your life is sharing purpose with society and with your community. And God damn it, can I just say it over and over again, is that we are missing this part. We are missing this. We can do things alone, but it's a lot funner in a lot of different ways. I think it's way more prosperous and lucrative. Talk about an ROI, which is just an investment of changing how you are, who you are, and feeling good, mostly for yourself. If you're a selfish fucker, do it because, dude, try this stuff. If you're listening to me going, yeah, fuck that, dude, I ain't doing it, I'll charge my shit. Just do it a couple times and see how you feel. Makes you feel good. I feel like when we do things like that, we got the better end of the stick, So, all right, let's move on forward. Also, I want to say a true contribution to yourself, to your children, and to the world around you. When we do these things, that makes life better. This gives purpose. This gives meaning to our lives. Knowing that we've done something. I mean, planting trees off the top of my head is probably one of the best things I can think of. I'm driving on the freeway right now, and I can see giant eucalyptus trees and things like that. And I think to myself, somebody must have planted these years ago. And look how giant they are. And look at if a lot of us just started changing our mindsets and started planting edible trees everywhere. What would happen? A lot of us would have these, pecans and blueberries and well, that's a shrub, but you get what I'm saying. Apple trees and indigenous edibles everywhere. It would help with the bugs and the animals and things as well. There'd be so much if you planted just forest upon forest of this stuff. Everybody gets to eat. Everybody gets a turn. Everybody has a sense and a feeling that there is a purpose. I want to talk about having the ability and having an ability to fix things, right? But having the ability to learn to fix things. And why is this so important? Because I think in our society and the way things are going right now, especially here in 2021, and it has been for a long time, we have a lot of waste. We have a lot of things that people buy and throw away. And I've learned this from my grandfather, where he was able to repurpose things. And he was able to fix things. I'm still learning about electric motors and things like that. So to have the ability to learn, which we have on YouTube, you can put on a YouTube video and learn how to fix an old fan, an old ass drill press. And I want to tell you guys, a lot of those old tools were built with purpose and integrity. Not everything, but the majority of things we have nowadays it's throwaway. It's crap, it's junk. If you're able to get your hands on something that somebody's throwing away or selling for pennies on the dollar, and you're able to repurpose, to repair those type of things, you'll have these tools for the rest of your life. They're made out of solid steel, not pot metal. For those of you who don't know, pot metal is basically, not to get too much into it, if you drop a piece of steel on the ground, it's going to go clink really hard. It'll probably scratch or even break chip the cement. If you take pot metal, which feels super light, and drop it, it'll crack. That's what's happening. A lot of stuff is being developed in other countries and things like that, and a lot of brands that I used to buy tools for. Me and my grandfather used to talk about that when he was alive still. How good that this brand was, and then they sold out. Now a lot of things are pot metal and plastic. So I look at a lot of things in your life that you're able to fix and repurpose, to see junk and things like that we're utilizing. These are the answers, I think, to a lot of the depressions of society and the feeling of purposelessness, if that's even a word. And reusing things, upscaling things, like using pallets. You can make bars out of pallets. You know, somebody made a tiki bar, I heard, and started a business out of it. I, for one, I make garden fences and garden boxes and things like that. Almost everything I can out of recycled pellets. I get them. I'm lucky being in the construction industry. I get big 10 by 4 foot, perfectly 4 foot pellets. I even built an entire shed out of it. And having that feeling like building the shed that I did with all recycled material, well, almost all recycled materials. I had a rich guy wanted to tear off a metal patio, and I repurposed the metal roofing, probably about a good $1,000 worth of metal. All the pallets and everything that I recycled, I was able to built everything almost from scratch for free, and then I get to look at it and sit and customize it. So, and it has a purpose. And I think anybody who would see a lot of the work that other people do, how they're able to repair and fix things, this person is very valuable. This person has a purpose. And if you're able to do those things in your life, fix your radiator, your car, or your water heater, your roof, paint your house, learn how to repair a lot of things and help others with it. You have value. You have a purpose in life. You know, if the fucking zombie apocalypse came and, you know, we're all figuring out we're starving and we got to figure out who the fuck we're going to eat, you know, we resorted to cannibalism. You want to be the last person to be eaten. You know, that motherfucker knows how to do a lot of shit. We should keep Bob around, right? He's very handy. He's got a purpose. Now, the other guy over here, he don't do shit. Jokes, folks, jokes. I don't know if my shit is if my foul language, I guess. We lost somebody who was going to be on the show, a guest, and it was because of the potty mouth. And I guess if I wanted to say here, take a little break, if that's the case, I have started a new podcast with the exact same principles and everything called Resilient Living Podcast, and it's very family orientated. There's no cuss words. I don't even say shit, dick, fuck, or ass, or anything like that, although that's my native tongue. I feel most comfortable doing this show. I love the laid back feeling and things like that, but I don't know, I guess maybe it's too much for people. And to tell you guys honestly, I've been trying to make permaculture and repair of the earth, you know, and all the things like this one that how to have purpose in life, try to make it cool for people. You know, I'm not over trying with the language and things like that and the jokes. It's who I am. I try to laugh. I try to make fun of everything. And I guess maybe it's too much because, you know, some people I guess just don't like it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys really like the message of the show but you don't like all the language, check out Resilient Living Podcast. Maybe I'll put a link to it on the bottom. And yeah, so moving forward, the last note I have here is problem solving and critical thinking skills. And that's what I think for a lot of us in life. There's a lot of problems. There's a lot of things that are getting in our way. I have them constantly, guys. I'm a business owner, so I'm constantly putting out fires. I've got a special needs kid. You know, I got to prep everywhere that I go. I got to prep diapers, extra clothes in case they get soiled, blankets. I have a certain diet. I like to eat all organic and everything, so it's not like we just go out all the time and go eat fast foods and stuff like that. There's a lot of things to my life. A lot of things that I don't do that most people do. That's what affords me to live the life that I live. That's what puts me in an investment strategy to be able to pounce if shit hits the fan, if things go down. But it's the life skills, the problem-solving skills that I've accumulated in my life. And I try to portray this to my children, my oldest daughter, and anybody I can. Instead of just helping them, the old saying, you know, teach somebody how to fish, you fed them for life. Give them a fish, you just fed them. Well, I think we need to look deep inside of ourselves and know that, and try to figure out, do we have problem-solving skills? And I say this because it seems to me like a lot of people in life just kind of lay down and accept what's going on. You know, this is the problem. We got all these different things the government's making me do. This is my selection of education. I should get married, get a job, work on my portfolios, you know. I should retire and play golf for the rest of my life. Well, when you have problem-solving skills, especially, and you have purpose in your life, and you meet these people who have done that American dream and done all these things, and you look and you say, wow, there's no purpose in their life. Not all of them, but a majority of them, and I talk about this a lot. But when I look at this, a lot of people who are retired end up volunteering time to go help others. Why would somebody who doesn't have to work ever, they're done, why would these people continually make this effort to go and help others when they don't really need to? Because there's something missing in their lives. They need camaraderie. Why do I think? And it's just my thoughts. They need purpose in their life, and helping others and showing up and having something to do instead of sitting home by themselves, twiddling their thumbs all day while everybody else is working to get their American dream, their retirements and everything, and being so fucking busy, nobody gets to visit each other, right? Even their old mom or dad who's retired now. You know, they got to go out there and have some sort of purpose in their lives. Why is it that millionaires, billionaires, there's these people out there who are fucking richer than shit, and yet they're making YouTube videos? If you have $1 billion, enough is enough, motherfucker. I'm like, go out there and enjoy life. Why would you have to keep coming back? Because you have no sense of purpose. In my book, anyways. You want to leave a legacy. I hear a lot of them wanting to leave their name. They want to change the world. They've conquered money. They got all that, but it's still not enough. Think about it, people. Motivational, especially these fucking real estate investors and economists and stuff like that. If they were so rich and doing so well, why would they be selling courses? Why would they be doing this extra work? I don't know, a lot of you guys who probably consume this kind of content. Do you realize how much work it is? It is a lot of work. It takes big portions of your day, and in my situation, sometimes my nights and my mornings. Sometimes I got to get up super early, 4 o'clock in the morning, to do these shows. Sometimes laying in bed till about midnight, trying to prepare, trying to come up with stuff to say, try to figure out what is good content for people, and then to go and edit it and get it on record it and do all these type of things. Why would those people, if they're already multimillionaires, why would they be doing those things? Yeah, one could say that they're paying for people to do that. That's one more thing you got to do. Those who are self-made, those who are people like me who have their own purpose, don't need to be told what to do, go out and make your own money, your own fortunes, whatever that means to you. There's a lot of hats that we're wearing, and the last thing we need is one more thing to do. And these people keep coming out. Why? Because they probably feel like they don't have a purpose. They want to have a purpose. It couldn't be that they need more money. They're already multimillionaires. So, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what's going on. You tell me why these people keep coming out. So, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys like this kind of stuff. I keep talking that we might stop the show. I don't know. We're getting close to 300 episodes here, and like I said, maybe it's the foul language. I may go over, and I guess I will stay in touch with you guys. I may go over and do more content on the Resilient Living podcast and give this a shot. I thought that we'd have a lot more motion, a lot more reactions and things to the show than we have, in the past 2 years. I think we've been doing this thing. We're up to 300 episodes, and it feels like I'm talking to a wall sometimes. I really love doing it. That's why I keep going. It feels like I have a purpose. Now, I'll be here as long as I want, I guess. It would be nice to hear from people, though, and subscribe if you guys can help me out. I mean, I've been here for 2 years for you guys, 300 episodes, and if I haven't brought you guys any value, that's probably the best thing I would say. If I have not brought you guys any value, please let me know. Please let me know, and I'll just stop the show. But if you guys want this to keep going, I'm asking your guys' help. Go and share this show with people who you think would dig it, who may need it. The whole purpose of this has been to really help other people. I get my rocks off, laughing, as you guys can see. Every once in a while I crack myself up. But yeah, so enough of me, enough of that. We'll see how the longevity of what the show is going to do. So, guys, I'm going to keep coming up with content for you. It is very busy right now for me. This is my big year. I would like to maybe just do some house cleaning just to kind of close things up. Last year, or for 2021, back in 2020, I worked very hard and actually made enough money to pre-plan all of 2020. So that went very well. That was a thing I wanted, to make a whole year's money in advance before the year even started, so I didn't have to think about it. Well, I'm thinking that there's going to be a crash and things like that happening, and I'm working extra hard right now to actually make some money and try to do some investments and things like that, and maybe get myself to take some more time off to devote more time to the show, or maybe possibly my other show. So enough of that said, there's a lot of things going on with my family, with my child. We're going to need to do, we got a severe case of knock knee. We need to do some serious, how would you say that, rehabilitation exercises and things like that. I also have a torn rotator cuff, and a lot of things that happened in my life here that I never thought about what could happen. I'm pretty predominant I'm dominant right-handed. Right shoulder cuff's torn out, and it hurts really bad. And I'm a roofer. I'm lifting up 100 pounds, climbing up two-story buildings, and this thing is this thing's hurting pretty bad. So I've got to figure out some things out, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to keep doing this kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure it should heal up. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and I know there's a lot of things going on in your life, and I hope that a lot of the cookies and things that I've shared on the show is going to help you guys out to have a better life. So that's, I don't know, I feel like I'm just rambling on, but all right, guys, thanks for being here. As I always say, you guys know what to do in the description below. Like, subscribe, all that kind of shit. And yeah, as I always say, go out there and have yourself a near life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it however you want, my friends.